Welcome to the On The Grid podcast. Today we talk about Blue Retro, the Banjo Kazooie cinematic trailer, Epic Games joins the Metaverse, and The Witcher 3 got delayed. I hope you enjoy. Welcome guys to the On The Grid podcast. I'm George, and that's Amando.
Hi.
And like always, what have you been up to this week?
Not much gaming. Yeah, it's not much gaming related, more channel related. So I was searching around for the lighting of the channel, what type of lighting. I've been searching around for my projects, like what ESP chips to use. A lot of reading around on Twitter and on RGB modding. So more background stuff than actually front stuff. And you?
Well, it was Easter weekend, so I was chilling. So my family came, my brothers and sister. So we went barbecuing with everybody.
Oh, that's always nice.
So that's always nice, a little quality time. And watching my nephews and my son play Super Smash Brothers. And it's funny because they all want to be in each other's team. So you don't really see the
everybody against George.
No. That's not fair. So
it's still not fair.
No, that's still not fair for them. So we can't have that. No, but for the rest, playing some FIFA, just enjoying the nice weather we have here in the Netherlands for
finally
once. So yeah, I haven't been gaming all that much this week.
Yeah, well, you don't always have to game, right? I mean, it's good.
No, and I mean, sunlight is good for you, they say. So hey,
it's good to catch some sun.
Get some sun, get some more color for the camera, working on the looks. No, and I've been working out a little bit, so. And I almost dropped the laptop, so. Okay, yes. So, but anyway, is there some mod-related news you want to talk about?
Well, I've been checking out the Blue Retro project for quite a while, which I think is a really, really nice project, which is close to the heart because I'm also already planning to work for a long time on a mod.
Yeah, for the people at home, explain what the Blue
Retro is.
Blue Retro is, yes.
Yeah, Blue Retro is an open source project where you can connect Bluetooth controllers to older consoles. So what they create, the team, because it's more people working on different consoles, what they create is like a nice 3D printed shell. In this shell, you've got a specific sort of chip. This chip communicates with newer controllers, such as retro bit controllers, but also 8-bit though, and the standard Xbox and PlayStation controllers. And if you have an older console connected, then you know that you always have to play with short wires.
Yeah,
and with this,
right in front of the TV.
Yeah, and especially if you're sitting in front of this TV, then you're really, really, really close to the TV. So Blue Retro gives you the possibility to play with wireless controllers. And the cool thing is they kind of finished the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 variant. And it looks really, really nice. What we already talked about in the last episode, I think, as well, is that a lot of modders are fighting against these AliExpress companies that are stealing away their mods.
Yeah, and making it cheaper, so...
Not even cheaper. It's not even cheaper. It's the fact that if it's open source, most of these projects are do-it-yourself projects. And what AliExpress does is
they're gonna do it themselves.
Yeah, AliExpress just makes this either this chip or this project into a complete product and then sell it for a good price. And then these modders don't hear anything because they also erase their names of the chips. So everything that they invented is just like.
Yeah, and then don't get any credit for it or anything.
Yeah, none. And the funny thing is that a while ago I saw that there was a Blue Retro adapter for the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 on AliExpress. Freaking ugly.
Yeah.
And then later on I read on Twitter as well that they stole like the first concept, which was really bulky and ugly. Now they made a really nice and sleek one and they just sell this older version, which is funny because they don't read, they just search for something, steal it, replicate it, and then just start selling it.
Yeah.
So this new one is almost ready. and it looks really cool. And to give some background information, I'm already busy for a long time, started to learn how these things work, to program things in Arduino, and make concept projects, and the end project, of course, being able to have something open source which people in the community can enjoy. And I always wanted to make older controllers wireless.
Yeah.
And I originally thought that I needed a different chip, and then like this week I found out that the chip that they used has actually a specific sort of connection method with the same chip, which is almost the same wireless technique. So if I start developing further on my project, I can still keep exactly the same stuff of Blue Retro, and the only thing I have to do is change the firmware and put the right stuff in the wired controllers, and cut the wire, of course. And then we have a working project. So it's really nice to see that Blue Retro is becoming like an adult project, which has 3D printed stuff and the complete modules for inside that work with LED lighting and all the functions. So it's really cool to see. And we also have the link in the description below, so you can look for further in how it looks, and go to the Blue Retro page, of course, to see it on the GitHub and read all about it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And I think further, like mod related news, I think one of the biggest problems, we talked about it in many episodes already, is the chip shortage. And I think like 1 or 2 days ago, I read a post about the chips that they use in most of these projects, because most of these projects they use these Altera FPGA chips, and they are getting so freaking expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because what were the prices back when it was normal, and what are they now?
Yeah, I'm not completely sure, because I read something like either $30 or below, because I haven't bought them yet, because I don't use them, because it's way too advanced for the projects that I want to do. But now they're already being sold for like $300, for instance, which is freaking crazy. Yeah, so a lot of these projects are also on hold, because it's just,
it's just becoming too expensive for just a hobby for a lot of people.
Yeah, especially if it's only one chip. Because it's not the whole project, it's one chip in your project.
Yeah.
So this could end up that you're buying or developing a sort of mod chip for something, and in the end you're paying the same price as a PlayStation 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's not normal. But is there any hope that it will get better in the future, or?
Yeah, well, originally
chip shortage just we're fucked for the rest of time.
Well, it's not for the rest of time, and it's also
till
just
the nukes drop.
Yeah, till the nukes drop, yeah. So, at the moment, originally they said at the end of 2021.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that didn't work out.
That didn't work out, no.
And then later on, they had this whole extra, after the corona pandemic, we had this whole war with the Ukraine and Russia.
Well, it's still going on.
Yeah. So they also say that has to do... everything has to do with everything. Of course, that's always what they say. So they're predicting now till the end of 2022 or the end of 2023.
So it's going to be 2024?
Yeah, who knows? I already read some posts of people that were seeing light at the end of the tunnel, where some of the companies producing chips that they're already starting to get back on their normal routines again, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
So let's hope that is actually happening at the moment. And if that's happening, then we're slowly getting back to the normal pace of developing and seeing.
And hopefully some normal prices coming out of there. So that,
especially FPGA based, because the coolest mods, for instance, the HDMI mods.
Yeah.
They're all based on FPGAs, and those are almost impossible to buy at the moment. So you have the N64 mods, then you almost have to sleep in front of this website and start refreshing to be hopeful you can get one.
Like trying to get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it's all crazy. It's really comparable. If you look at the PlayStation or an Xbox and you have to constantly wait for it, or a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
You almost have to sleep for it on these websites and refresh it to actually acquire one. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird that other companies aren't like, okay, we're going to make those the things that we need.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are more places in the world where I think they can make them.
Of course, yeah, but it's always it's the same with Europe. Europe is always such a hypocrite in these things. It's the same with these semiconductors. They can't get them, and then suddenly Europe is like, this is actually an interesting market. Maybe we should produce them here in Europe as well. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is seriously, you're finding this out when there's a chip shortage?
Yeah. It's, how we say in Dutch, it's mosterd na de maaltijd.
Yeah, or when the sheep was, how do you call it in English?
De kalf is al verdronken, zoiets.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, basically...
Yeah, and the funny thing is an important thing of this whole chip shortage has to do with Taiwan.
Yeah.
Which is already has its own conflicts. So we're actually just waiting for more problems to happen.
Yeah, it's not like the most
stable
country at the moment, since somebody is just watching them like, okay, we want that, and
you acknowledge it's a country.
I acknowledge it's a country. I acknowledge it's a country. I will never go to China, so fuck them. No way. I already know that shit. No. I have nothing to do that. So, So, was there anything else?
No, just what I said in the beginning. Of course, I was searching around for lighting, and I have some projects going on. So probably for the next episodes, we'll have more lighting.
Yeah,
and that's always nice.
That's always nice.
Yeah, and further, I'm more curious about what you did.
Well, I was in with the game. We're gonna start with the game news.
Yeah,
not what I did.
That's what I mean with what you did. So what game-related news did you read?
Well, I think first of all we need to make a small correction because you talked about BanjoKazooie last time, and I edited the wrong video over it. So
yeah, he edited the original video.
The original video, I thought it looked good. It was better, but just before we started, he showed me the new footage. The new footage, and it really looks really amazing. So I think it's a real shame this isn't gonna be an actual game.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Especially when you read the comments, people are like almost screaming for it to happen.
Yeah,
and they're just casually saying like, "I hope you enjoy this cinematic trailer of a game which is almost finished, but you're never gonna play."
Yeah, so watch a trailer of something you're never gonna play. Like,
yeah,
and I hope Xbox kind of looks at this and is like, hey, this is a good idea, and it's
and that's the reason
ready.
why we have to share this. And most people that have a YouTube channel should share this because this needs views.
Yeah, so go to the link in the comments below and just watch the video. Even if you're not interested in BanjoKazooie, just for us, just put it on play, put it on mute, and just let it go and go do something else. I don't care. Just we need a lot of views for this one. I think this is one really deserves of support.
Yeah, and Rare, of course, needs to support it as well. So Rare has to acknowledge that this has been made.
Yes.
They have to do something with it. Because for instance, I read that Retrobit and Rare had a collaboration, and they created a sort of anniversary NES game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you hear it well, a NES game.
What year was this?
That NES games were created at the end of the 90s, beginning.
Oh, I thought it was a recent NES game.
Yeah. It's so this game is being released yesterday.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually a new NES game, and I thought it was funny because, of course, it's older hardware, and when they have a retail price of $60, I'm just like, okay, $60 for a new NES game, but okay. But this is Rare related. So Rare actually worked with Retrobit together to make this Battletoad Double Dragon game.
Yeah, one of the two best arcade games there are. So
so really if they actually work on recreating or making new NES games, maybe look into BanjoKazooie.
Yeah, I think
and Banjo-Tooie.
And it's already almost done, so basically just go to them and say like, thank you for your labor, here you have some money and we'll finish it. Or better yet, you finish it and we'll give you the credits.
Yeah, and then release it.
Yeah, and then just release it and then you'll have a game. I mean, I I don't know a lot about game development, but I think it's that easy. Just give them
Well,
money and they'll
if you
finish
look
it.
at the trailers, I think there's not too much left for the imagination in.
Yeah, I
what-
mean, basically the world is built. Only the gameplay is what's needed, I think. So.
Yeah, you don't see like the characters move, but you do see in different worlds different sort of moves that they're making. Or so the funny thing is, I believe this is really close. If it has to be already in an engine.
Yeah.
So the only thing that has to happen is probably the thing of physics and make it all work together. But
Yeah, I mean, it must be less effort than starting from scratch.
yeah, let's
Anyway.
just say this has been made by one guy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Microsoft
So-
help them out.
Yeah, so if this is one guy, and of course the guy Dark Grunt Music, which made the music
Yeah.
for the both games, and they're now making their own fantasy Banjo-Kazooie world.
Yeah, like a sequel.
Yeah.
So
That
sequel
never
ideas.
came.
So you guys, please go support it. Watch the link, give them likes and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe our video, of course.
It's also nice, yeah.
But you know, The Witcher. It's time for another subject about The Witcher, because The Witcher 3 has been delayed, the remake. And apparently I read that it wasn't because it's in a development hell that anything is wrong with it, but they took the project back in-house. And that was because the outsourced developer is in Russia, and well...
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. So they're working on it. It probably will be here at the end of the year, beginning next year. So yeah, I'm just very happy about that. And also, The Witcher 3 sold over 14 million copies. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
think,
always happy when it comes to stuff from The Witcher or Cyberpunk. I'm glad things are never being delayed.
Yeah, well, I hope they're gonna go with the Rockstar method from now on and just announce it when it's ready. Like 3 months before it, they go, yeah, here you have a trailer, here you have this, and now it's out, and go play with it.
I think
So-
it's better to delay something. Wasn't this a quote of Nintendo that they said something? You can better delay something and make it freaking fantastic than launch it, and it will be a mistake forever.
No, yeah, it's like a bad game is always bad, and a delayed game is only delayed until it's out or something like that. And I think that's a good quote to as a point of reference. Like, that's how we do it.
If you look at how hard it was for Cyberpunk to actually being acknowledged as a AAA title.
Yeah, well, that was pretty easy, but they fucked it up pretty fast.
Yeah,
So
they lost it in the first month, and then they were trying to regain it again, and this was a lot of work. And of course, it didn't get the whole. I think it didn't get what it deserved.
yeah, I think that name is stained. Like, everybody is always gonna associate like the bugs and everything with it.
Yeah.
And even playing it without all the bugs and everything, it's like still isn't that next tier game. Like, it should have gotten a few more years.
Well, we
even
still
though
have some
first-
updates, and there's actually news about the updates as
Well,
well.
there's an expansion, not only an update, because they've been updating it for like crazy for like the last years. But there's an expansion coming, and it's coming next year. So I don't know how I feel about that, because it does feel a little late. And it's one expansion. They promised me 2 expansions.
I always say better late than never.
Yeah, it's what was the quote we just said? It's only delayed until it's done. It's only bad. It's
Oh, these quotes, goddamn.
It's only delayed until it's done. I mean, we need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's a really good thing for CG Projekt Red to get their shit back together, and hopefully now with the expansion they can add like a few new game mechanics, some things they haven't promised, and there are a few open-ended stories in the game that I really wanted to like. You knew like, oh, there's something behind it, and it's so interesting with politics and corporate stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about that. And yeah, and I think I missed something about The Witcher.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
So
haven't
we're
read it.
gonna move on.
Yeah.
And that's Epic Games is putting $2 billion, and I said it right, $2
Yeah, $2
billion
billion
dollars into the Metaverse. So what do you think about that?
Mr. Negative speaking. No. I love games, and I love it when I hear that there's a gigantic investment done in a company like this. But that's the whole problem with this deal. It's the metaverse.
Yeah.
And I'm not like the biggest fan of the whole Facebook company. So hearing that people dump money into metaverse, which is like even more money in Facebook overall, but also into getting more information, because metaverse is not built for the reason that we play games. So if you buy a game, then you actually buy a game because the developer gets money, and we're all happy. They start developing new games, and this is how this whole thing works. You can either buy the expansion packs and updates coming out, but that's another part. The problem with the metaverse is they don't build this to make you like a happy gamer. It's not a game that's being developed and
Facebook isn't there to make you happy.
No, Facebook isn't there to make you happy. We know this from the past. The only reason why Facebook is doing this is so they can have even more control over your personal information and use that against you.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it, but
yeah, but my thing is with the whole metaverse idea, it doesn't sound that interesting, because it sounds to me like, oh, you can hang out together and do stuff, but I can already do that on Xbox or PSN in a party chat, and I don't have to engage that much. I can talk to you and do other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can play my own games. I don't have to do something with you. I can just talk to you. Like,
yeah. I understand the idea, and I like the idea because it's also based a little bit on these movies that were created for this sort of concept. And for instance, if they would launch a specific console with a sort of, let's say, a sort of metaverse, where every time that you buy a game, a new tunnel opens where you can go with your friends and play. I like that concept, but not from Facebook.
No, more like PlayStation Home. Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, PlayStation Home was way too early for its time.
Yeah,
so we're getting close to, for instance, let's just say, for instance, a console that's being made completely on top of the Unreal 5 engine. So every game that's being released on this thing has to be Unreal 5, but then there's like an Unreal 5 open world. That sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah, but what would you do there? Like, my thing is like the games the games are already. What are you gonna play there? Are you just gonna play Halo like in the metaverse then?
It's possible,
of your Xbox?
Yeah. If you like that, it's possible. But you can do the same thing with so this Xbox subscription where you get all these different games that you have to play in order to get these points. In that sort of way, I would like to see that. So weekly, there's coming these weekly achievements or
goals.
Yeah,
like
your
you
goals.
Have to achieve,
that's what I'm searching for. So you have these weekly goals, and you have this sort of subscription, and it could be that you have to finish 10 laps in a race game. But you also have to play some first-person shooter games to achieve this.
Oh, yeah. And then
people are actually...
And maybe you'll get points to buy a new game or something. Or
get
a new avatar or something like that.
Yeah, most of the time they would use these points to either unlock specific gear or for your avatar. Something like that. But I already heard from people around me that they love this. They love this concept because they actually start playing these games for these goals that they have to do. So if a specific console will be released completely on top of a sort of, let's say, a virtual reality style, so a console completely connected to your virtual reality stuff, and then with a sort of a gaming subscription with these goals, I think that would be a huge...
Yeah. I think like if you can combine it with Xbox, like in their Game Pass, and you would have built something around that, like because you have a lot of games to play then.
Yeah, and
I could understand it, but in its current concept, it doesn't sound like, as a gamer, like, oh, I'm gonna replace my PlayStation 5 with a metaverse and then just go in there.
To me, that's a no-go.
That's not even an option for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
So I think it's more for people that aren't gamers, like aren't really those hardcore gamers, I think.
Yeah, but that's a problem. Because I hear this a lot, that they say like, yeah, but we're doing this not for gamers. Then don't do it at all. Because
Yeah.
the only company that found a way to make money out of old hardware and simple or different gameplay is Nintendo. They're famous for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies shouldn't compare themselves to a Nintendo. If a Facebook says like, we're going to create something which is completely different from how it works right now, yeah, don't expect it to go work.
But I think it's more like they're targeting the mobile game people who play a lot of mobile games. Like in my head, like that's more of their target audience. But I don't think it's for us.
Yeah, but I'm curious.
But
then
it is
why
like,
you would do it, because why would Epic then invest $2 billion in something?
oh no, it's gonna be a big thing. Like I think of it kind of like PUBG, like the predecessor of Fortnite, and Epic Games
Yeah.
looked at it and was like, that looks good. Let us take that and make it even better. So I think they're doing something like that. But like Fortnite, it wasn't really for me. So
Yeah,
but that was all the news I had.
yeah, for me as well.
So
I don't have anything else.
so that's it for today.
Yeah.
I'm George. That's Amando.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.